Howdy, me fellow Bart here, and welcome. This is going to be a little bit shorter stream and video, and what I wanted to show off here was some of the unused areas and unused content and some of the working console commands that I've found that work well so far. Alright, so see, I've got my sea turd here. This is not the color that I chose for it, but that's the color that came up. The ability to change the colors, for those who don't know anything about the game, you can put a vehicle upgrade console in and be able to access that console, and there's a fabricator for other modules, so I can add in the sonar. Not worried about this right now, but just to kind of show you what those are. You can add torpedoes for a vortex or a gas torpedo, upgrades for your prawn suit, common modules like storage, energy efficiency, and hull reinforcement, that kind of stuff. You can also come into right here. You see we got the sea turd, base color. I've already changed the base color once, so let's do it again. It seems to be working now. And now the sea turd is, well, I want it to be yellow. You can see it's yellow here. The material doesn't show up as good. It's almost a gold color, but I also told it to have tan interior, so not a thing. So the first thing I wanted to look at was the fact in the first one, well, you can still see that there's flaws in the way things work here. You can actually color your base now and give your bases names. So if you have multiple bases, you can provide a name here, and this one seems to be missing now. But what we're going to look at here is, I am also in creative mode, is there's different biomes. So if you type in, well, first off, if you don't have the console commands, if you want to get them on PC, hit F1, hit F3, and then hit tab so you can bring up this, but also still now get a mouse cursor. You uncheck disable console, and then you can hit F1 and F3, close both of those back, and now when you hit the enter key, you get a listing of, or you get the ability to type in commands. The first one we're going to do is biome, and it gives you a list. Intro cave, intro ice cave, or intro area, intro ice cave. The list doesn't stay up very long, so shallow twisty bridges, lily pads, crystal cave, deep pads, and kelp and kelp cave. So if I wanted to, I can go to biome, oh, you suck, biome intro area, and you have to be careful on some of these. It will put you underground, as it did here. So this is back where you try to get back to your base. This tower has fallen down and you can't get back up into, because you don't have a ladder anymore. And sometimes you got to do the command a couple times. You see, I did it a second time, and it put me on land. And you can see there's some debris there. The snowman's still over there. Your forklift. You can come back in and explore throughout the entire base. Everything is lovely. Nothing here works. So if you're playing through the game and you forgot to grab all of the PDAs, which you will find a PDA right here, none of this machinery in here at all works. Not a thing. None of your chargers, none of your other, I mean, nothing here works. None of the machinery works at all. The only thing that somewhat works is you got these aquariums here. You can see the fish, but you can't take them out or interact with them. The chairs, you can't sit down in them. The water purification does not work. If you open up these, one of them is the bedroom you spawned in, which I think is the next one over. But there's a PDA that will be right here. You can actually sleep in the bed. That's nice. As far as I remember, also, none of this stuff is scannable. But you can walk around, and you know, if you've got the PDA from when you first started the game, it will be in here. Yep, this is your starting room. You'll find a PDA right there. But this is your original starting room that you started in. If you didn't get a chance to read the billboard, it's kind of hard to read with all my bases and stuff scattered around. But you get paid for finding stuff. You can't really find any stuff yet, so it's not worth worrying about at this moment. Hey, and there's a PDA there that I forgot to grab. Even though it's like the 5th time I've been up here. I like this room. Doesn't appear that we can actually build this room yet. Really nice that you can actually see. You got a clear roof. Would like it if we could build that room. Okay, so you can see it's nighttime. It looks really cool at nighttime in the water and everything else. The lightning storm. You can see our orbital station up there. Everything looks awesome, but if you don't want nighttime, just type in day. If it's daytime, you want nighttime, type in night. So that is this. So if you can't remember what the name of the biome is, just type in the word biome and it'll give you a list. So biome, up arrow, and then you can type in intro ice cave. Now I did put this in here because I wanted to go ahead and have access to getting a
welcome aboard, Captain.
Well, coffee machine and a fabricator so that I can get a hold of the orange. If you do this without any commands or whatever, you can come over here and input a orange tablet and be able to go through here. What prompted me to start looking for all these commands and stuff like that was I got stuck and it was kind of annoying. So there's a warp forward and then you put a number behind it and 10. So you can warp forward 10 meters. So now we're inside of here. I did use it to go in here. There's nothing in that room or in that room. But if you come over here and you look, there's another shield that you can't seem to find or get through or use. So warp forward again and you get this. You can come over here. There's nothing else in that room. You can come over here. This is the working elevator like from the first game. And it will kind of bring you on up. I'm not going to explore the entire thing, but just wanted you to know that this was here and you can go in. There are sections you will find that look as though you can't go anywhere. And I will show you like this right over here. Looks like the mountains are actually going through. However, you can walk through it and continue to explore. So there is no collision on that hill. So biome. Let's go to biome Crystal Cave. And it does take a little while for everything to draw in because you were in another area and just suddenly you're somewhere else. Inside the Crystal Cave, you're going to find another base that is not finished yet. So it is solid. You can maneuver around. You can see inside there. If you wanted to, you could warp into it. But we will swim around it. Pardon the noise of an airplane flying over. Forward 10, so we can warp inside and see that there's pretty much nothing in here. But you can get underneath there and explore. It is worth taking a look at, you know, because this is going to be a thing later on. It's just nothing here now. Kind of cool checking out some of these unexplored areas. Now, I've already shown one that's really one of my favorites here, but I'll wait. We'll go to... I really wish that would stay up longer. And biome Lily. lily pads. So we'll let everything load here. The lily pads, if you were to look from the surface, there are big lily pads there. But there is a hidden base here. There are a couple of these bases scattered around as part of the storyline. And as with the intro base, there's nothing you can do with them. At some point, they will be part of the storyline. There's just nothing to do with them for right now. You can swim through. I believe there might have been... Well, I know that they're going to be part of the storyline. I don't think there was any PDAs in here. There's still a lot of missing content. It's early access, so it's to be expected. But you can zip around, check things out. Got a moon pool that'd be kind of hard to get in and out of. But this is the lily pads. If you wanted to know how to find them from the surface. You can't mistake it. There's a big batch of lily pads. So as you're maneuvering, see, I've got the compass on here. So the cargo rocket, your normal base, all your other stuff is going to be to the northwest from here. So if you've got the compass module and you want to find it, you're going to want to travel southeast until you start seeing these big things here. Can't get on top of them. Right now you can swim through them. But, yep, that's that. The area that we just came from before was behind the original base. If you were to look up in the hills, you'd be able to see some big black buildings, and that's where we just came from. So, other interesting stuff. Twisty bridges, shallow twisty bridges is close to where you start off with. So, let's go to shallow twisty bridges. And that's going to be close back to your original base and stuff. It takes a moment for everything to load up. So that is the biomes. Very handy for hopping around the different locations. What's up, homie? Tonight? Alright then. Alright, so the next one, as we've already looked at the warp forward, but there's also a warp command. If you just type it in, nothing happens. Warp is your teleport location. If you were to hit, was it F1, you can actually see your location, and you can see your biomes. I am in LD biomes, twisty bridges, shallow. Shows your velocity, which is your speed. But what we want to look for here is you got camera world position. Hit tab so I can get a mouse cursor. Can't see it as easy, but camera world position, negative 226.8 and 39. So if I went to this and typed in warp 000, it will warp you to whatever coordinates you want to go to. So if you've got a really cool place that you want to go to, just write down what the XYZ coordinates are after you hit the F3 key, or the F1 key. Look at your actual camera world position, and you'll find that right here, camera world position. And you write down that number, and you can have this as your own personal teleport locations too. So let's close those up. That is the warp. Go to. Another one that I really like. Of course, we use the warp forward, which just teleports you forward the amount you put in. Like warp forward 10 will warp you forward 10 meters. 100 will be 100 meters. So, go to. If you type in go to and hit enter, you're going to get a list. And that list is going to go away really quickly, and we're not going to be able to see it which really sucks. But I have them here. Rocket, Twisty Bridges Valley Floor. You've got enzyme sample, Carrara sample. Now this one right here, we can take a look at. This one will take you to a giant fish skeleton. So instead of it, I'm going to pull this list off to the side. If you want to, you can screenshot this right now. Pause the video, screenshot it, and make a copy for yourself. Or pretty much what I did. That's all I did was I brought it and I put it in a my editor. So I'm going to go ahead and with that up on my other monitor, I'm going to start going down the list. So we're going to make it daytime so we can see what we're doing just by typing in day, and we'll do go to rocket. This will carry you to the cargo rocket, which is part of your story mission. It tells you to go to the cargo rocket. The location that it tells you to go to is just to get you to land so that you now can explore and find the cargo rocket. You'll use this as part of the storyline early on, and then I found a second point where you're going to need it, and you will need to bring, when you go to the actual cargo rocket, you're going to need to bring a repair tool. That is a given. You will need a repair tool because the rocket is damaged. This cover will be off, and as you can see, wires are hanging out. You will have to repair this before you can actually deploy the rocket. Then you would come back over here and bang, see, rocket needs repair. Once it's fixed, that will change and it will say ready or what have you. So you just click on the screen while you're aiming at it, and it will point itself up and launch. This is not an unused area. You will find it as part of the storyline, and you will be able to explore inside this one. This base does have things that you can scan. So as you're doing the storyline, it will be helpful just to come in here and scan everything. The first aid kit, you'll have a big filtered water, nutrient block, which is going to help a lot with your hunger. There's no cold to deal with just yet, so coffee's not that important, but you can scan the chairs. Both of these are different chairs. So you've got two chairs here, a table you can scan. This you cannot. You can open it, you can use it, but you can't scan it, and you can't build them yet. You do have a fabricator you can use. For some reason, this ladder does not work. That's normal. Hopefully will be fixed. And this is another chair here, a bed you can scan, and you get that little table, that plant, and this shelf. So you got a bunch of stuff you can actually come in here and scan. So that's a good thing. Alright. In the go-to, the Twisty Bridges Valley Floor is the same thing as we used in the biome, but you got the enzyme sample, which is ENZYMESAMPLE. You see it just fast moves you over there. And you're going to find, well, this is a lot of spoiler stuff here. As it comes in here, you can see some stalkers, but the Emperor from the last game, you will find them swimming around. And there will be an enzyme sample that you can collect as part of the storyline. That is going to be, again, northwest, so we'll travel southeast from our main base area. Let's go up to the surface, take a look around. As you can see, it's over here by the lily pads. So while you're at the lily pad area, go ahead and check it out. These are really cool. Don't know of a use for them or anything you can do to interact with them. And these are the whale creatures. Yes, it looks like I have a sea moth in my inventory. That's not a sea moth. We'll show you that here in just a minute. So these replace the reef packs. A bunch of them that are spawned. And they are docile. They're not going to try to eat you. At least as far as I know. They haven't tried to eat me yet. Alright, there's bunches of areas where there's landfall. Some you can get on, some you can't. Like this. We can walk up on this one. Over here by the lily pads. Hold down shift to sprint. Is there a reason to come up here? Not at this time. What is that behind there? Looks like just a rock. What up, homie? So you can explore. You can get out here on this island. Like I said, there's, as far as I know, there's nothing up here. I have not found anything, at least. And since there's multiple islands here, it's kind of gonna have to spend a lot of time walking. So let's look. You've got go to Shield Base. That's going to carry you back to after you first start your game. You're going to get prompted to come down through this cave and do your thing. We've already explored here, so I'll keep moving along. Let's see. Gonna save that one. So I'll do go to ARCT Arctic Spire Arctic Spire's cache. There's 3 caches that are in that list that will be part of the storyline that are not currently part of the storyline yet, but as you can see, there's a portion of something here. Since I've already been here, it won't give me anything. It won't talk to me, but you will get some, the first time you show up here, it will tell you something. Warp forward 10. So get in here and look. You are probing me. This is all part of storyline stuff. There we go. Essential component. Yeah, this is. I didn't come in here before, but this is the biosample container that actually holds our Yeah, I'm not going to mention anymore if you haven't seen the story. You can't do anything with it. Can't interact with it. What you just saw was all you're going to find. You've got go to MTech site 1, 2, and 3. These are tech sites. These are going to be little platforms where you can usually find a PDA. There's a stalker over there. Yeah, if you want to cheat your way around and get to these, that's fine. But yeah, there's one called C Truck Test. Go to C Truck Test, and there's really nothing there. It's just kind of like a cave system. And we're only 66 meters down. So, if you're wondering what the sea truck is, the sea truck is a version of. See, there's a gold outcrop just floating there. Shit, I went inside that other base. Hover ramp. I want to go to that base. But not worried about it. There's 3 of those. You've also got the Altera Tech site. So if you typed in go to Altera Tech site 1, 2, 3, or 4, and I just chose 2. And every time you warp around like this, you're going to have to wait for just a few moments. Let everything kind of load in. And sometimes you start off, you're inside of the ground, so you're going to have to move around a little bit or what have you. And this is just the shelf that's right over here that will get you into the story area to go to the rocket. I put that snowman here, by the way. Those plants look so trippy at nighttime. Cool. Alright, so base supply drop, shield base top, radio tower, sea truck test. Those are all the normal ones. Let's just go ahead and go to the cool one, which is go to hover area. And I will put it back daytime here. Day. Definitely an unfinished area. This is the hover area, and it's pretty large area. And you know, you can spend a buttload of time walking around this place and exploring. I mean, there's just so many different areas of this unfinished zone. But why the hell would you walk whenever you can deploy your very own Snow Fox hover bike? WASD controls, mouse look to move around just like the sea moth. Makes moving around this area so much faster, and the way you're going to get that is with the spawn commands. And to get back off, you hit the E key and you walk behind it. You can pack it back up. You also have an upgrade access panel right here. There's only one upgrade and it's not in the game yet, so you can pack it back up. And then you have this little thing. Let's move into the light here. A nondescript little switch panel, and you can deploy it. If you want it, you can use the spawn command and spawn hover bike. And you can see, there we go. Now you got your very own hover bike, and screw walking when you can move around on your own freaking hover bike. Now, as you move through, you'll find different areas where you can actually, you're going to need to use a warp forward to jump across, because if you know, there's just no other way to get across there. There are an access point to get up here if you're not using any cheat codes. If you're doing it in, if you're doing this without using the console and you want to get in here and check this out without cheating, there is a way. So the way that I found to get in here is when you go to pick up that first supply drop you get sent, that marker stays for right now, so you can always go back to that marker, and just beyond there there's where you can surface to get air from the water. And if you look around, there's a cliff face. You can actually build into the water. At some point you will get the ability to construct. You will be given, if you haven't gotten that far on the storyline, you will be given the habitat builder so that you can start building. Make sure that you go to the cargo rocket area and you scan everything in there so that you can actually start building the different rooms. But yeah, you could spend a lot of time riding around this area. There's a lot of stuff that you can actually go to, and a lot of surface area. And there is a headlight. You can right click. You can see the thumb actually, your thumb actually moves. You turn the headlights on and off. So your left thumb will actually go up there and hit the button. And you can get up on Some of these structures, like that one right there, you can get out there and you got to jump across. And we'll say, go look at that area. There is no jumping, but it seems to climb up on terrain pretty well. But you can go up that ramp, go around, and then manually jump, well, warp across. Use the warp me, or warp forward like 20 or 30. And that should get you up there. Just trying to get back over to that zone so I can go back in there. But, you know what? You can take my word for it that, yeah, see, I'm 900 away from it. So it's a long ride from here. But it beats the hell out of walking. Spawn commands, I still haven't found one to spawn the Cyclops. So, pretty much stuck on that. You're actually going to have to build your own Cyclops. You will have to build the builder fort in deep water like normal. Alright, I'm just going to come over here and get off of this. It does take up a pretty fair amount of inventory space, 4x4 grid, so you're going to need ample inventory space if you're going to use a hover bike. So that one I'm just going to leave it here. And we'll go to M-base. And we want this to be daytime, so we want to be able to see what the hell we're doing. And so there's a couple of these bases around that you'll be able to go to. And if you haven't, I don't know if this one can be scanned, but that first base over by the rocket area, I know you can scan. Here's your orange tablet here. So you'll need the orange tablet to get past the shield. I haven't explored all of this base yet. Man, not gonna. Alright, I think that's all the really cool areas of interest. Let's see what else we got to work with here. Let's go to spawn. You can type in spawn if you're stuck and it'll respawn you nearby. Kill if you just want to commit suicide and go back to one of your bases. When you die, you lose a couple little random items out of your inventory. Spawning the Cyclops does not work. Haven't tried any of the spawn loot stuff, or unlock doors. I haven't tried that because I haven't found any doors. And of course the Aurora stuff, naturally, because you know the Aurora is not in this version of the planet. Let's see. Loads last save, game reset, GAMERESET, whatever, yeah. The free cam is not really that useful. That was from the original game, and I don't really see where it's all that useful. Yeah, we're 500 meters down. So, you know, like I said, that's one of those things where you can try it if you want. Biome, we want kelp. And that's the icon there for a hover bike, which I abandoned. Kelp, there's one of my bases over there. Got all these resource drops and everything else. But kelp, like I said, it's relatively close in. You spend a lot of time swimming in this game anyway, so kind of get used to it. Fabricator base. Well, you can explore the rest of them. The console command is, like I said, you know, once you've got access to the console commands, it's really easy to be able to just type in biome, go to, those are the main ones. Spawn Well, actually, let's come over here, and this should be sufficiently deep water, and I will verify the vehicles here. So you've got Seamoth, Cyclops, and Prawn Suit, and you've got the Neptune launch platform is here. I haven't tried it yet, but let's try doing the Cyclops. I haven't tried the Cyclops yet either. Pretty much been using the Seamoth. I built it with this, spawned it in, and are you not going to work? Okay, appears that it's not working. So, if that didn't work, I know that the Seamoth does. I haven't tried a Prawn Suit yet. There's a Prawn Suit. I know the Prawn Suit is going to be part of the game because, you know, without going into spoilers here, there is some mention to prawn-related activities, and we'll leave it at that.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
Alright, so typical Prawn Suit, which is going to suck as I'm pretty fair distance away from my base. I'm not sure what the two purple modules are there, but I guess it's my left and right arms. Okay. Yeah, it's typical with the Prawn Suit. You've got your boost limit, which is the purple bar next to your basically your health and your battery power. Out of juice. I like coming back really fast. So we're going to see really quickly if I can put this in here, and I can't because I have a Seamoth in here. But we will go ahead and take a look at the sea truck really quickly. Let's get out of the Prawn Suit. I was trying to just manually spawn a Seamoth, and to spawn Seamoth, instead of the Seamoth, you get the sea truck. Problem with the sea truck is right now the lighting is not in the correct location. You see where the funnel, the cone of the lights are. They should be right there. And the thing to remember is don't park this on the surface. This is how you get in and out, is on top. So don't park at the surface of the water if you want to be able to get in and out of your frickin' sea truck. So far the only way to get it is to spawn Seamoth, and this comes up. It does not go into the moon pools. I've not been able to get it to dock with a moon pool, and since I don't have a Cyclops, I haven't tested that. But you can see when you start backing up, you automatically get a backup camera. It pops up. You can see right there on the right hand side. Nothing happens on left click. On right click, you have your headlight controls. You can see that they're coming in from the wrong location. Alright, so that are going to be that. Let's go take this back over to here. Park it close by. If you guys found some use in some of these, but that's exploring some of the outside areas. And some of the commands. I haven't tested all of them, like removing fog, the FPS counter, but that's just a decent one. I guess I'm just for shits and grins, see if they forgot to remove it. I wonder if I can spawn the Aurora, see if they left that in there, see how much of a new game this actually is. Let's see, what was it? Sub Aurora. So you spawn, space. Yeah, let's try it out. You know what? What you got to lose? Day. You can do day-night cycle. I think you can modify that as well. Oh, I'm still on my freaking thing here. Hit E to get out, just like with any of the other vehicles. But yep, there's your sea truck. Type in the command spawn Seamoth, and that's what you get. And I'm very sure that the Aurora is not going to work, because this is not the right side of the planet. It's not here, so spawn sub AURORA. Could not parse sub as tech type. Spawn AURORA. Nope. Spawn Sea Glide. Already had a Sea Glide anyway, but don't know why that would work. Let's see here. Go like spawn Titanium 1. You see, you just spawned it right there, and you can pick it up. Mad Loot will fill your inventory with glass, titanium, computer chips, batteries, a knife, habitat builder, scanner, all kind of junk like that. If you're building something, here's an example. Spawn resource 4 knife. Resource 4, okay. It didn't like that one. Spawn resource RESOURCESFOR. Yep, it don't like it. So, looking, if you find a list online of items from the first game of Subnautica, a lot of these commands do work, but not all of them do. I'm sure at some point somebody will come up with a good list of it. Oh, there's a Sea Glide. Inventory full. Note for right now, if you build an alien containment.
Aboard, Captain.
Looks normal, right? Enter alien containment. I just fell inside her. There is no water in here. It does not act like it normally should. I'm not sure why. I don't know if it's because I'm in creative mode, but it did work in the normal survival mode. And once you're in here, if you mouse over it, it says enter alien containment. Enter alien containment. When I try to use it, it re-enters you back in here and you are stuck. So if this happens to you, warp forward 2. But now I'm swimming. It'll get you out and hit the door to re-enter base, and you're walking again. Of course, I don't have ladders in here because I built a frickin' alien containment, so I didn't have to worry about ladders. Alright, ladies and germs, we're going to call it on this. I just want to show off the basic commands to get you to the new areas and checking them out. This is where you can actually edit your bases. Fail base. And once you've named it, you can actually go outside and it will show on the side of your base, and from a distance you will be able to see it. Delightful. Alright, guys and gals, thank you for watching, and we will see you around.